All right, welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah, always good to be back.
Today we're
Yeah.
going to try to get into the world of finance a little bit.
Okay.
See if we can unpack what a successful trader actually does
Interesting.
all day.
Yeah, yeah.
And our source for this deep dive is actually a segment from the Money Moves podcast
Okay.
where they talked to a really experienced trader
Interesting.
and got him to walk through
Oh, cool.
what his typical day actually looks like.
Gotcha.
And I thought the coolest part was how much he emphasized the mental game.
Yeah.
You
Good
know,
where?
it's like an athlete preparing for a competition.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a great analogy because you need to be at peak mental performance to make the best decisions when it comes to, trading in the markets.
Yeah, I mean, I was even a little surprised to hear
Right.
that they're doing things like meditation and visualization. So what are they actually visualizing? Like, what are they thinking about?
Well, I mean, if you imagine a trader visualizing a successful trade, right, they might be picturing themselves remaining calm and collected amidst, a lot of volatility in the market.
Right.
And making, really rational decisions that are based on their analysis, executing their plan flawlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just a really powerful way to train your mind to handle those high-pressure situations.
Right. So it's not just about relaxing.
No.
It's about building that mental resilience for when things get tough.
Exactly.
Now, after this meditation, the trader in this podcast,
Yeah.
he moves on to journaling. But it doesn't sound like it's just like a Dear Diary type of thing.
Right,
It's
yeah.
more strategic.
Exactly.
So what are they trying to accomplish with that?
Well, I mean, journaling for a trader is really about analyzing their past trades, trying to identify any patterns in their behavior.
Okay, so like recognizing if they tend to make impulsive decisions when the market's moving against them.
Exactly. Or if, maybe fear and greed are influencing their trades, which, happen to all of us. Mm-hmm.
Let's say a trader, notices a pattern where they're entering trades because they have this fear of missing out.
Right.
Even if the trades don't really align with their strategy, right?
Yeah.
Journaling can really bring that unconscious behavior to the forefront, and then they can actively work on making more disciplined decisions.
Wow. So it's not just recording what happened. It's about becoming more self-aware.
Yeah.
And then improving their decision-making process from there.
For sure.
Interesting. Okay, so they've done all this mental prep.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, now it's time to actually get a read on the market, right?
Yeah.
So the trader will dive into some market analysis, which involves, checking out major news outlets
Right.
for any significant events,
Mm-hmm.
analyzing overnight market moves to try to find any emerging trends,
Right.
and, reviewing the economic calendar for any upcoming announcements that could cause some volatility.
Oh, I see. It's like a detective gathering clues.
Are there any specific types of news or economic indicators that they're paying more attention to than others?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, let's look at, currency trading as an example.
Okay.
A trader might pay really close attention to announcements about interest rate hikes.
Okay.
Because if a central bank unexpectedly raises interest rates, that can actually cause this surge in demand for that currency, right?
Right.
So it creates a potential trading opportunity.
So understanding that broader economic context is crucial.
Absolutely.
It's not just charts in isolation.
Yeah. And I think another key part of this market analysis phase is building a watch list.
The watch list of
Yeah. And so this is like a curated list of assets, whether it's stocks, bonds, or currencies that the trader believes have the potential for some significant movement that day.
based on their research.
Exactly.
So it's like a chef picking the best ingredients before they start cooking.
I like that.
They're proactively choosing where to focus their attention.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so because their mental game is strong. They've done all their market analysis.
Huh?
They're ready for the most intense part of their day,
Right.
the opening bell.
Yeah. I mean, what's the atmosphere like when the market opens?
That sounds exciting.
It's like the starting gun in a race, right?
Right.
Everything kicks into high gear.
Yeah.
All the traders, they're glued to their screens, monitoring their watch lists,
Right.
watching how prices move, looking for those, high probability setups that they identified in their analysis.
I bet things are moving so fast.
Oh, yeah.
No room for hesitation.
Right, but here's the thing. Successful traders, they don't get swept up in all that frenzy.
Okay.
They stick to their trading plan. They avoid making impulsive decisions just based on fear or greed.
So no panic buying or selling.
Exactly, because remember, they've got that watch list, which acts as like their roadmap for the day.
Right.
And, if they miss an early opportunity, they don't chase it, right?
Right.
They patiently wait for setups that align with their strategy and risk tolerance. And speaking of risk management, that's another really crucial element that the Money Moves trader, emphasized.
Yeah. What does that look like in practice?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing it's more than just hoping for the best.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's not about hoping for the best.
Okay.
Risk management is all about protecting yourself from potential losses,
Okay.
making sure you're trading responsibly,
Mm-hmm.
and a key part of that is setting something called stop-loss orders.
Stop-loss orders. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, well, a stop-loss order, it's kind of like an insurance policy for a trade.
Okay.
So it's an order that you place with your broker to automatically sell an asset if it drops to a certain price.
Okay.
And that helps limit your losses on a trade that's moving against you.
I see. So you're basically saying, I'm willing to risk losing this much, but no more.
Exactly. It's a way to take the emotion out of it.
Right.
And protect yourself from, those potentially catastrophic losses.
Okay. So they've got their trading plan, their watch list, they've got their risk management strategy in place.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going through their minds during those really intense opening hours?
Yeah, I mean, even with all that preparation, emotions can run high
Sure.
when real money's on the line.
Yeah.
So that mental discipline we talked about earlier, that's really crucial.
Right. Like that visualization practice.
Exactly.
This is where it comes into play.
Yeah, so even when the market is going crazy, they're able to stay calm and focused, and they stick to their plan and avoid those impulsive decisions.
Makes sense. Now, even the most seasoned trader has to take breaks,
Yes,
right, to avoid burnout.
absolutely.
The Money Moves podcast, you really emphasized the importance of stepping away from the screen, especially around midday.
Yeah,
Staring at charts all day, I can imagine that being pretty intense.
it is for sure.
So what are some of the benefits of taking that midday break?
Well, it's not just about resting your eyes.
Mm.
It also allows you to kind of reset your mental state.
Okay.
Clear your head and come back to the market with a fresh perspective. It's a chance to detach from that constant flow of information. Avoid making decisions when you're feeling tired or overwhelmed.
So taking a walk, grabbing some lunch,
Yeah.
maybe even a quick meditation, that could actually improve their trading performance.
Absolutely, because it's all about maintaining that peak cognitive function throughout the day.
Yeah, because a trader's mind is their most valuable asset.
Exactly.
So they've had their break, they're refreshed and ready to go.
Yeah.
What happens in the afternoon trading session?
It can be a little bit like the morning,
Okay.
fast-paced action.
Okay.
But I think there's also an added layer of complexity in the afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, throughout the morning, right, the market has been reacting to all this news,
Right.
economic data, the general sentiment of all the traders.
Yeah.
So by the afternoon,
Mm.
new trends may have emerged,
Okay.
which creates, fresh opportunities,
Right.
or it could shift the landscape completely.
So they might have to adjust their strategy a little bit.
Yeah, it's not just about sticking to the initial plan.
Right.
You also got to be
Yeah.
adaptable and respond to the new information.
It's a delicate balance, knowing when to stay the course and when to pivot.
Yeah, and I think this is where the discipline and emotional control
Right.
become even more critical.
Yeah, because it's got to be tempting to chase every new opportunity,
Absolutely.
especially if you missed out on something in the morning.
Exactly. And overtrading,
Yeah.
that can be just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, like you're trying to make up for lost time.
Yeah.
But you just end up making more impulsive decisions.
Exactly. So the Money Moves trader,
Yeah.
he stressed how important it is to stay focused
Okay.
on those high probability setups,
Wow.
even in the afternoon,
Mhm.
If the market isn't really presenting those opportunities,
Right.
it's better to just sit back and wait patiently
Right.
rather than forcing trades
Yeah.
that don't align with your strategy.
So it's quality over quantity.
Yes,
It's better to make a few well-calculated trades
absolutely.
than to jump into every little fluctuation.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Now, as the afternoon wears on,
Yep.
there's one final hurdle, right?
Yes,
Closing bell.
that's right.
I imagine there's like a collective sigh of relief.
You would think so, but the day is not over yet.
Okay.
For a successful trader, the closing bell
Yeah.
simply marks the beginning of another really crucial phase.
Okay.
Post-market reflection.
Time to put those journaling skills to work.
Exactly. So this is where they review every trade they made that day.
Okay.
They analyze both their wins and their losses in detail.
Okay.
And it's not about dwelling on the mistakes or celebrating victories.
Right.
It's about extracting those valuable lessons from every experience.
So it's like athletes,
Yeah.
doing the post-game analysis. It's breaking down the film, identifying what worked, what didn't, what they can improve on for next time.
That's a great analogy. And what I find so fascinating is that they don't just focus on, the technical aspects of their trades.
Right.
They also delve into their emotional state during each decision.
Interesting.
So they're asking themselves questions like,
Right.
was I feeling anxious when I entered this trade?
Mm-hmm.
Did greed maybe cloud my judgment?
Right.
Did I exit the trade too early because I was feeling scared?
Interesting.
So it's about understanding how emotions impact their trading decisions.
Boy.
Both positively and negatively, right? This level of self-awareness is absolutely crucial for continuous learning and growth.
So successful trading is as much about psychology
Absolutely.
as it is about technical analysis.
It's a combination of both.
Right.
So the technical skills are essential, right?
Right.
For understanding charts, patterns, all those indicators.
Sure.
But the mental game,
Right.
the ability to manage your emotions, stay disciplined, and learn from every experience, that's what really separates the consistently successful traders from everyone else.
Makes you wonder if these principles could be applied beyond trading.
Absolutely.
Right. Like, could we use this post-market reflection in other areas of life?
Totally. I mean, think about a big presentation at work.
Right.
After it's over, take some time to reflect
Right.
on what went well, what could have been improved,
Right.
how you felt during those key moments. Were you nervous? Did you forget any talking points?
Right.
So by analyzing your performance, you can identify those areas for growth and prepare yourself for those future challenges.
Or even creative pursuits.
Yeah.
Like writing or painting.
Absolutely.
Taking the time to step back and really critique your own work.
Yeah.
Identify your strengths and weaknesses.
For sure.
Can help you refine those skills.
Exactly.
And develop your own artistic voice.
It's all about applying that same mindset of continuous learning and self-improvement that we see in these successful traders.
Right. Here's another parallel.
Okay.
The Money Moves trader also emphasized work-life balance.
Yes. Very important.
Okay, so even in this high-pressure, always-on field like trading, there's still room for downtime.
For sure.
And personal pursuits.
Absolutely. So the trader in the podcast makes it clear that stepping away from the market is essential for maintaining both mental and physical well-being.
Okay.
So once that trading day is done, it's time to unplug, completely focus on things like family, hobbies, relaxation.
So no checking the markets before bed?
Ideally, no.
Or stressing about tomorrow's trades?
Yeah, I mean, they understand that to perform at their best, you need to recharge, engage in those activities that bring joy and fulfillment outside of trading. Yeah. So it's about creating a sustainable lifestyle that supports both professional success and personal happiness.
It sounds like they're taking their own advice about risk management. But in this case, they're managing the risk of burnout.
I love that perspective.
And neglecting their personal life.
Yeah, it's about recognizing that we're not machines.
Right.
We need time to disconnect, replenish our energy, nurture our passions.
Right.
Otherwise, you risk compromising your performance in all areas of life.
So even though they're talking about finance in this podcast, they're really giving us a blueprint for a balanced and fulfilling life.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final element of their daily routine, preparing for the next trading day.
Okay.
But before we dive into that, let's take a quick break.
Welcome back to The Deep Dive.
I feel like we could talk about this for hours.
Right.
There's so much here.
It's fascinating.
It is.
But we've spent the last two segments unpacking this daily routine of a successful trader.
We have.
We've seen how they approach the market.
Yeah.
It's like this blend of technical skill, mental fortitude, strategic planning. It's really impressive.
Absolutely.
And I think what's been so cool is realizing how many of these principles
I know, right?
apply beyond finance to life in general.
Totally.
So I'm ready to shift gears a little bit and explore how we can actually incorporate some of these insights
let's do it
into our own life.
Let's get practical.
Okay, so first up, mental preparedness.
Yeah, the trader in that Money Moves podcast really emphasized those,
Right.
meditation and visualization techniques.
Right. And obviously, we might not be facing those split-second decisions like a trader does.
Right.
But we all have pressure and uncertainty in our lives.
For sure.
So how can we apply those techniques to our own everyday challenges?
Well, it doesn't have to be complicated, right?
No.
Even just a few minutes of focused breathing or guided meditation
Yeah.
can make a huge difference. Mm-hmm.
In clearing your mind and reducing stress.
Like even just visualizing yourself navigating a
Yeah.
tough situation,
Uh-huh.
like a big presentation or
Yeah.
a difficult conversation.
Absolutely.
They say that can really boost your confidence.
Totally. And, you can incorporate these practices throughout your day,
Okay.
not just in the morning.
Uh-huh.
If you're feeling overwhelmed at work,
Right.
take 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to practice mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
or step outside for a quick walk
Right.
just to kind of reset.
It's like hitting the mental refresh button.
Exactly.
Okay, so now let's talk about discipline.
Yes. Love it.
Another cornerstone of the trader's success.
It is.
They talked about sticking to the trading plan,
Yeah.
avoiding impulsive decisions,
Right.
even when the market's going crazy.
Exactly. And, we may not be managing financial risk in the same way,
Right.
but we all have goals and priorities in our lives
Yeah.
that require focus and discipline. So how do we translate that trader-level discipline into our own lives?
Well, I think a good starting point is to identify your biggest distractions.
Oh.
Are you constantly checking social media?
Oh, sure.
Does email kind of hijack your attention?
That's me.
Those are definitely common culprits.
Yeah.
So once you kind of know what your distractions are,
Yeah.
you can start to create strategies to manage them.
Okay.
Maybe it's turning off notifications
Yeah.
during those focus work blocks or setting aside specific times
Okay.
for checking email.
Makes sense.
So it's about being intentional
Yeah.
with your time and energy
Right.
and making sure that you're directing those things
Yeah.
towards what truly matters.
Okay, so moving on to continuous learning,
I love it.
this commitment to always seeking improvement.
Yeah. The Money Moves podcast, they highlighted how that trader reviewed every single trade.
Yeah.
They analyzed both the wins and the losses to really try to learn from each experience.
Right, so we can apply that same approach
I think so.
to any area of life.
Yeah. I mean, if you just had a challenging work project,
Right.
take some time to reflect
Yeah.
on what you learned, what you could have done differently,
Right.
how you can improve for next time.
I love that.
It's about turning every experience,
Yeah.
even the tough ones,
Mhm.
into opportunities for growth.
Embrace the growth mindset,
Totally.
knowing there's always room for improvement,
Yeah.
and even mistakes are valuable learning experiences.
Could not agree more.
And then finally, we got to circle back to balance.
Yes. So important.
Right. That commitment to well-being that the
Oh.
trader really emphasized.
Right. They talked about stepping away from the market
Yeah.
to recharge, spend time with family, pursue hobbies.
Right, because even in this high-pressure field, like trading,
Yeah.
they recognize you can't perform at your best
No.
if you're running on empty.
If you're burnt out, forget about it.
So how are you prioritizing your well-being?
Yeah, that's the question.
Are you scheduling time
Yeah.
for activities that bring you joy and help you de-stress?
It's about creating that sustainable lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
One that supports both your professional ambition
Right.
and your personal fulfillment.
So I think as we wrap up this deep dive into the daily routine of a successful trader,
Yeah.
the key takeaway is this.
What is it?
It's about approaching life with that same level of intentionality,
I love it.
discipline,
Yeah.
and commitment to growth that a trader brings to the market.
It's about being mindful,
Yeah.
strategic,
Mm.
and always seeking opportunities
Yeah.
to learn and improve.
And finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
between pursuing your goals and taking care of yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today.
Well, this was fun.
This was great. I learned a lot.
Me too.
As always, we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning,
Yes.
and keep diving deep.
Absolutely.
Until next time.
See you later.